Hey, my Lipton. So I wanted to come in here and do a quick wrestling video. These are just some random topics because I feel like I'm gonna talk about anything wrestling related in a minute. But before I start, please subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 800 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 1,000. And let's get into this video. First, honestly, in a way, I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, yo, like I shouldn't even be giving this airtime because Madusa, aka Alundra Blaze, former WWE, well, WWE Hall of Famer. Let me just say that. You know, in a way, I'm like, okay, let me not give this any like, let me not give it any. Let me not even talk about it because it's like whatever. On her videos, she only has like 500 and listen, this is no shade because at the end of the day, I am also growing my channel as well. She got more subscribers than me, so this is no shade in a way, but it's also shade too. But it's like, you know what? She only got 515 views on this video, so why even talk about a one section in the video where she spoke about this? But Miss Medusa right here, Miss Alundra Blaze right here, threw some shade, a little bit of shade, at Rena Lesnar, aka Sable. So, and mind you, nobody brought this up. Okay, the guy, I don't know, her co-host on her podcast on YouTube, didn't bring up Sable's name or anything like that. Like just randomly, like, Medusa brought up Sable's name. The conversation was about CM Punk and how to use him. And this video is obviously 2 weeks old and everything like that. If you guys want to go watch it, you guys can go watch it. But yeah, like she was talking about CM Punk and what to do with him and how maybe they can bring in AJ Lee and everything like that. That would be so cool. And then I think she makes some kind of scenario about how maybe, they can, WWE can also bring in a Sable and also bring in Brock and make Sable and Brock, I don't know, tag team or something against freaking AJ Lee and CM Punk. That would be crazy. That would make a lot of money or something like that. And then the co-host was like, oh, yeah, that would be a hell of a match. And then Medusa was like, oh, you know what? At the end of the day, Rena, she says, Rena, you were not a good wrestler. Oh, no, she was like, at first she was like, yeah, plastic boobies and, handprints or whatever the hell. Rena, you were not a good wrestler or anything like that. Oh, you know what? Let me not say you weren't a good wrestler. You did what you could. You did what you could. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But that would be a good idea to bring her in. Maybe she could just come in and walk Brock down to the ring, blah, 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 blah. Paraphrasing. And to me, I was just kind of like, for the demented, miserable people like Jim, and it's no shade, and I like Jim Cornette, but we have to be honest. Jim Cornette at times, he does sometimes act a little bit miserable when he be talking, like when he be talking about, especially certain amount, because Jim Cornette. Anytime I see him do his content or anything, he's always mad about something. Like I don't know, his energy is always negative. So for me, and it's like obviously when it comes to Sable, he's always negative about her. It was like pulling teeth when he had to talk about freaking Tammy Sitch. But with Sable, he's willing to say anything, with her and then Medusa. And apparently, I didn't even know that Medusa had beef with Trish Stratus, and one-sided, obviously, one-sided beef with Trish Stratus and Lita. I actually had no idea about this until I had to do my research. But yeah, like, so I was just like, for the amount of people and like these miserable podcasters and these miserable marks talking about how much Sable wasn't, she wasn't a good wrestler, or she wasn't good on the stick, or blah, 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 blah. Y'all sure do talk about her a lot. Y'all sure do want to bring her back to the wrestling business to see her to become, get into the Hall of Fame and all those different things. Y'all sure do. For someone who y'all guys claim is irrelevant now, y'all sure do bring her up a lot. And there are times when people don't even, the co-host or the host or whoever, they don't even bring her up, and y'all guys have her name in y'all mouth. It's really like, it's wild. Like honestly, Sable's really that girl. She really left an imprint on the wrestling business. Like it's unheard of. It's unheard of because at this point, for someone who y'all claim like, oh yeah, she don't know how to wrestle. She don't know how to wrestle. Miss Mamos is bringing in more ratings. She's the only, mind you, the only. Let's keep it a stack. We're talking facts. The only female wrestler to bring in the ratings that they brought in. Not Madusa, not Luna Vachon, and there's no shade. And I like Luna Vachon. Not Luna Vachon, not, and Trish Stratus and Lita were popular. And I really, really do love Trish and Lita and all them. But they by themselves, they were not bringing in those ratings like the way that Sable by herself were bringing in ratings. So it's like Sable really left an imprint on this business. And I think that what makes these people so angry about Sable is because, okay, this is a woman that, didn't grow up on the wrestling business, didn't watch it, wasn't interested in it. She was put into it by her husband. And then Vince McMahon was like, okay, let's put her on TV. And the way that she blew up so quickly, in a way, it was a shock. They were not expecting it. And even Sable wasn't expecting it. So now, that's where the jealousy and the competitiveness comes into play. So, and Madusa, and I was like, okay, like, has she always? Because I didn't know that Madusa, because there was very rarely I watch her podcast. Like I said, on this channel before, I watch everybody. I watch 83 Weeks. I watch Jimcornette. I watch Vince Russo. I watch Kurt Angle's podcast. Like, I watch a whole different bunch of people on this platform's podcast. So I was like, has she always been like this? And then that's where I found out that apparently she honestly really doesn't even like Trish Stratus or Lita. And I was watching a video where she was talking about Trish Stratus, and like, Medusa sounded so bitter in that video. She sounded so, I don't know. She was really jealous in that video. And to me, I'm like, okay, I think that now I don't even think that it's like a Sable thing or anything. I think that Medusa is upset that, when she was at her prime in WWF, in WCW, she really, honestly, the only memorable thing about, and there's no, listen, the only memorable thing about Medusa is putting that title in the trash can. Yes, she was great. I saw some clips on YouTube about her wrestling. She was a good wrestler, knows how to wrestle. She did more in the ring than anybody else. Yes, but we're just gonna have to be honest. People, like, if we, first of all, we don't even think about her until somebody brings her up and shows us her picture. But when they do bring her up and show us her picture, we're like, oh, this is the one that threw the title in the trash can. That's it. We're not thinking of nothing else. That's no shade to Medusa, but it's the truth. These are the facts. So it's like, and on top of that, Medusa was not bringing in no ratings. There was no revenue with Medusa's name. And she thought that when she was going to WCW, when she put that title in the trash, she thought that she was going to become big bucks. And that was not the case. So it is what it is. And I just want to say this about Medusa, because she had something to say before I move on. She had something to say about Trish Stratus, and I wish I had Trish Stratus's picture on here. But she was basically like, oh, Trish Stratus, and this like a video was like maybe like 7 months ago that she did this. She was like, oh, Trish Stratus trying to make it seem as if she's the one that that created the women's evolution and revolution, whatever. And that's not true. It wasn't her. It was me, and da-da-da. And I'm like, and basically making it seem as if Trish Stratus benefit. And to me, I'm just like, listen, Medusa, and listen, of course, Trish Stratus was saying that on a promo. It was scripted. It was a work. So the fact that you took that so personally, number one, is it shows how much of a mark that you are for yourself. Number two, it's also like, ma'am, you do realize that when you put that title in the trash can, the WWF legitimately dismantled. First of all, it was already a mess. The women's locker room when you Medusa was there, but they dismantled the women's division after you did that. Like, legit, there was no revolution after that. Medusa was saying, oh yeah, after I put the title in the trash, that's when the ball started rolling. That's when things started to get done. That's when, I did it for a bigger cause. Well, sweetie, the bigger cause was the WWF dismantling the women's division. It had to, first, like, after you did that shit, Yes, they brought in Sable. Yes, they brought in Terry Reynolds. But there were, let's be honest, there were just the valets, the eye candies, and those sort of things. Sable came in. Yes, Sable at first was the valet too, the eye candy. But then Sable got over to a point where they had to start bringing back in the women's championship and, start, putting a little bit, put some respect on the women's division because Sable was getting the women's division over, you know? Sable didn't even have to ask for the women's championship to be brought back. They had to bring it back because she was bringing in ratings. She was putting respect on the women's division. So Medusa, I don't know what you thought you was doing there, but yeah, was you great in the ring? Was you doing your thing? Yes. But at the end of the day, you know, Trish is more iconic than you. If we're gonna be honest, Trish, Lita, Sable, they're all more iconic than you, and we just gonna have to be honest about that. We're just gonna have to be honest about that. So, and your only iconic thing is putting a title in the trash can, like respectfully. Like that's just what it is. So, mamas, I know you try to throw that shade onto Sable, like plastic boobies and handprints. Sweetie, those plastic boobies and handprints got brought in more ratings, brought in more merchandise, okay, than you could ever dream of, okay? At least those got over. Fake boobies had to get over, and you and your wrestling skills and you flip flopping and flying in the ring didn't get you over, mamas. So you could be mad about it. Wrestling was at its highest when Sable was in the business. So y'all just you and your ilk and your marks just gonna have to accept that fact. It is what it is. Next topic. Let me tell you something. I've been seeing this trailer. I've been seeing this trailer all over the Iron Claw. It has to do with the Von Erich family. Now I didn't do a review about this because the channel didn't start yet, but I did watch the Von Erich story on Dark Side of the Ring. It was a very thorough documentary that they did. And the Von Erich story was just it was horrendous. Like it was just so sad, so awful. Um I feel bad. Like the whole thing, the Von Erich, if y'all guys don't know, y'all guys should definitely, if y'all not too sure about the Von Erichs, I would say yes, go, if y'all want to watch this movie, go watch this movie. Go look up The Dark Side of the Ring on the Von Erich family, the tragedy of the Von Erich family, just to get a little bit more detail. But yeah, it was a very sad story. Now, I'm still I don't know. I'm very undecided because right now I think I'm a little bit movie fatigued. So that's why I'm not rushing to go to the theaters to watch this. But maybe I will. I think because it's between two things, honestly. And I'm veering off a little bit, but it's between this movie and Anyone But You. I want to go watch in theaters. So, but yeah. And then on top of that, it's no shade. I got to throw a little bit of shade. The casting choice for the Von Erichs in this movie is interesting. And don't get me wrong, I grew up on Zac Efron. I love Zac Efron and everything, but y'all, when y'all look up the Von Erich family, it's no shade. The Von Erich family was fine, honey. They were sexy as hell. Like they were good looking. Okay, and the casting for this, listen, it is no shade. I'm not saying like these Zac Efron and Mr. Man over here. I forgot his name, and I be seeing him around on Twitter. But like, I don't know. The casting here is a little bit, it's okay. I'm neutral about it. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how I feel about it, and to see if I will go watch it. So, I'll just have to wait and see. But if y'all want to know about this story, this tragic story about the Von Erich family, I definitely recommend you guys to go watch it. It's the winter holidays. It's Christmas break. Y'all guys go check it out. Next. I want to talk about Hulk Hogan real quick. It's nothing too serious. It's just I saw that he recently got baptized, and he got baptized again. So I was on the Shade Room. That's where I found out that Hulk Hogan got baptized again, and I was just kind of like, okay, the Shade Room is not like, like the wrestling sites or anything like that. They always put celebrities, and you already know Hulk Hogan transcended through wrestling. Like this man is a celebrity in and of itself. And and also the Shade Room is majority like a black platform, more so for black entertainment, black American entertainment. So I was just like, let me see the comments and to see what they're saying about Hulk Hogan. Only because of Hulk Hogan's past and everything. So I just wanted to see what they were saying. And y'all, when I was looking through the comments and through the Shade Room posts about Hulk Hogan, man, I don't know, man. I feel like Hulk Hogan really ruined his legacy. And no, not completely, but there's a dent in it. There's definitely a dent in his legacy because that sex tape, the N word, it's always gonna haunt Hulk Hogan. Like he's just always gonna have that attached to his name. And bro, y'all, the general like the casual fans, the general public, when I was looking through that comment section, they were going in on Hulk Hogan. Like they were like, oh, he don't even like black people. Why are you even posting him? Like, does he even like N words now? Like da 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 da. And they were like, oh, he's trying to wash the racism away or whatever. And there was other comments that was saying that, oh, he don't like black people, but he's always wearing a do-rag. Like it was a lot of things. And I was just kind of sitting back and sipping slow because I was just like, And it's like, personally for me, I don't know. Like, it's not like I have, like at this point, for me, I personally think I've forgiven Hulk Hogan for what he has done and said, but at the end of the day, we can't force anybody else to forgive Hogan and to turn a blind eye to his racism and his racist comment. So, I don't know. That's why to me, like when I be thinking too, I be like, yo, when these legends pass on and when I'm thinking about like the Hulk Hogans and the Ric Flairs and, when they do pass on eventually, because we're all going to pass on, you know, yes, their legacy is going to be all the great things and, them transcending through great fame and heights, but the negative is going to be there and they're just going to have to eat that, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah, that was just something that I noticed. Lastly, I want to talk about the fucking GOAT, the greatest all time, my fave. I want to say happy belated birthday to my fave. Okay, his birthday was a few days ago. Yeah, I already know on this channel I said multiple times I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. If I ever were to meet him, I will legit like faint. I will faint to the ground. Yes, I'm marking out. Yes, I always talk about the marks and I'm always talking down about the marks. But when it comes to listen, I'm not marking for nobody else but Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, you girls and boys are just gonna have to eat. Just gonna have to deal with that. Okay. But yes, this is my fave. Always be my fave. Love him down. Happy belated birthday to the motherfucking GOAT. Okay, wrestling would not be where it's at today if it wasn't for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Okay, put some respect on his name. Okay. Either way, that's all I have to say about that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below on any of these topics that I spoke about today. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.